Hello, and welcome to Race 8 of the Mars Truck Series, Season 3, 4, I don't know. Anyways, we've got a minute left to practice, and we'll hop right into it. Today's a big race. We've got some big storylines coming into tonight. I'd like to apologize for missing the last 2 weeks. I've been busy with some personal stuff, and I couldn't be more excited to get back in the booth tonight. These are some great people to hang out with, and I'm excited to watch them race. We've got, like I said earlier, we've got some big storylines. What that is, obviously the season championship ends, or the regular season championship ends tonight, and we've got some guys that aren't going to make the playoffs. We've got 12 playoff spots and more than 12 drivers. So right now, if you look at your bubble, sitting in 10th, going down to 14th. These are really the guys that I'm looking at tonight. We've got Corey Kroll in 10th place at 159 points. Behind him is Wesley Triplett. He's at 139. Casey Gross is in 12th with 116, and Cameron Combs is at 112. Christian Snyder, I've not seen him tonight. So really, Wesley Triplett, Casey Gross, Cameron Combs, those are the guys that we need to be looking at tonight, trying to figure out who's going to come out. I'm going to try and write this down really fast so I can keep track with it throughout the race. And before we end the stream tonight, we'll let you know who made it in. So, with that being said, we're about to start qualifying. I'm excited. This race last season was a lot of fun. They run a hot track, and I believe it was 112 degrees pre-race, 104 maybe. Looking at it now, it looks like we're going to be sitting at a 102 degree track temp, so we should see a little bit quicker times than we did in practice. Wayne Garland's going to come out on the track. Wayne's having a pretty good season. He's been nice and consistent. He can run up front, and he's sitting in 9th right now, and he's pretty safe. He's at 164 points. The guy, Casey Gross, in 12th is at 116. So really, Wayne's safe. Corey, he's pretty safe. It's going to be Wesley, Casey, or Cameron. There's 3 guys, 2 spots. So one of those guys is not going to, they're not going to make it. It'll be interesting to see who it is. As far as your regular season champion goes, right in the lead right now is Austin Smith. He's at 241. Behind him is Caleb McKinney. So as long as, let's say, Austin Smith finishes second, as long as let's say Caleb McKinney finishes second, Austin can finish 12th, and he'll be fine. Caleb McKinney finishes first, and then that bumps up Austin's spot that he needs to get by 5, because the guy in first gets 40, then it goes down to 35. So Austin, let's say Caleb McKinney wins, Austin needs to get 7th. So as long as Austin can walk out of here with a top 5, and he has 6 top 5s and 7 top 10s of 7 races, he's your regular season champion, which is great for him. Austin's a great driver. Felt like last season, he was great every race, and something always happens. So I'm glad to see him up top. He's got 1 win on the season. Caleb McKinney right behind him having a great year. 1 win on the season. Brandon Puffenbarger, 1 win on the season. Only 2 top 5s, and he's sitting at 220 points, only 21 points behind. Your leader, Gary Donnellan. He's having a good year, nice and consistent. And then we go down to Alex Campbell. We called that race. That was so much fun for me because I used to be a teammate of Alex. Wesley Triplett has 2 wins on the season, down in 11th. So that's another thing. I don't know if winning your in counts in this series. I think it should. My personal opinion is it should, as long as you participated in all the races. If you participated in all the races and you won a race, I think you should get into the playoffs. In Wesley's case, he participated in 4 races, so he kind of be disqualified there. But it is not my call. Let's go down and look at some of these laps. Your pole right now is Daniel Honeycutt with a 33.32. On the track right now is Michael Smith, Justin Duran, Corey Blevins, Corey Kroll, Caleb McKinney. Let's ride along with Corey Blevins. Matter of fact, let's ride along with Justin Duran. This is his first night tonight. He'll be making his debut. Do a sound check real quick. I don't think it's quite loud enough. Might turn up that car real quick. Hold on, let's go. Yeah, we'll turn it up just a little bit. We want these things to be as good as possible. Let's turn it up just a tiny bit so y'all can hear the trucks. I appreciate the kind words, Larry. We missed being up here, man. We just had some stuff we had to get done, and we are happy to be back. I'm happy to be back. You know, I consider these guys friends, and so I hated not being here, but I'm back now, and we're going to give it our best shot. Justin Duran, after qualifying, he sits third with a 33.44. Corey Blevins is now stopped. Austin Smith coming around for, he's done. He got a 33.45, so these guys are really close up front. Who's yet to qualify? Jarrett Larder's coming around on his second lap right now. His first lap might have been a heater. It was 34.04. That puts him in 14th place. Oh, he got a little loose. I think that might kill his time. We'll see when he comes around here. And that last lap was not going to cut it. Jarrett Larder sitting in 14th. It's going to be tough for him to make his way through the field tonight. Brandon Puffenbarger. Brandon Puffenbarger was good here last year. We'll see if he can do the same thing he did last year here. Let me correct that. Brandon Puffenbarger is good everywhere. Let's see if he can have a good night tonight. That first lap's going to put Brandon in 4th place. He's running a 33.44, which is exactly what Justin Duran ran in third. Daniel Honeycutt still sitting at P1 with a 33.32. Let's see what Brandon Puffenbarger can do coming out of 4 here. And it's going to be 33.34 for Brandon Puffenbarger. That's good enough for the front row right now. Not quite for the pole. Left, we have Alex Campbell and Wesley Triplett. Alex is coming to the line. Wesley's coming to the line. Alex Campbell's going to run a 33.39 hot lap for Alex Campbell. Wesley Triplett comes in at a 33.63. So that puts Alex Campbell up to 4th. Does he have another night? You know, last time we broadcast, he won. I hope he's not watching the broadcast. He's going to think I just cursed him. How much time we got left? I'm ready to go racing. 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes, and they'll be gridding up. We're 30 seconds from going green. 30 seconds and we'll be going green. I'm excited. So I think for the most part, everybody's done qualifying here. It's looking like Daniel Honeycutt. That beginning, he came out quick. He's going to get the hot lap by 2/100ths of a second over Brandon Puffenbarger. Corey Blevins is sitting 1/100th of a second after that. These guys are quick. I'm excited to see, do they run out real quick or do they conserve their tires a little bit? Because we have a hot track. These tires are going to get eaten alive. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here. And now you can officially see our grid. We've got some drivers coming in. On the pole, it's going to be Daniel Honeycutt. Behind him, Brandon Puffenbarger, Corey Blevins, Alex Campbell, Justin Duran, Austin Smith, Corey Kroll, Cole Larson. That's a name that I don't recognize. Caleb McKinney, Joshua Neal, Wesley Triplett, Wayne Garland, Anthony Garland, Casey Gross, and Gary Donnellan. Behind Gary Donnellan is going to be Michael Smith, Jarrett Larder, Cameron Combs, and rounding out your and finishing 19th or starting 19th, excuse me, is going to be Adolfo Castillo. That's the highest car count we've had since we've done the broadcast. That's 19 cars in here tonight. Should be interesting.
Caleb, I've done the reset on my grade and paint. I'm still showing you in the 32.
Excuse me, just stand by. I'm going to go in there and turn the drivers off just in case they say something silly. Let's turn the engines up a little bit for you. Turn the chat all the way down. So.
Yep.
There we go. Sorry about that. Should be rolling here any second now. If I remember correctly, we've got 104 laps. Yep, 104 laps, 3 sets of tires. You should expect a pit at about 32 or so. So if they're careful, they might be able to do it on 2 stops. Realistically, you're probably going to need 3 as we watch Daniel Honeycutt here. Daniel Honeycutt. Who's behind him? Corey Blevins. Justin Durand behind him. Up top, you've got Brandon Puffenbarger and Alex Smith. Alex Campbell. Austin Smith behind Alex Campbell on the top. Look at that new paint scheme from Alex Campbell. We're used to the Reese's machine. And let's go to the blimp here for this restart as the pace truck rolls off. First one's going to be on green. There's the green flag. Green is out. Brandon Puffenbarger gets a good start on the outside. I wonder if he'll be able to make it stay even with Daniel Honeycutt having the inside here. Ooh, Alex Campbell's loose. Big wreck. Austin Smith. Michael Smith. The 19 car. The 82 car. Joshua Neal. It's turn 1. Guys, we don't have a fast repair. No. Let's go back and watch this. Faster. So he probably just got in there, had a little bit of dirty air on his truck, gets a little loose, or did he get a tap? No, he didn't get tapped. He's riding fine. Austin Smith's checking up. He comes right back up on top of the track, and everybody's spinning and wrecking. Hopefully nobody has real bad damage. Alex Campbell might be in trouble here. He hit that nose pretty hard. Let's watch it from inside the cockpit. Man, that was a he was looked like I thought he was going to save it. So here we go. He throws it in. It's hot, guys. And he just gets it a little loose. Oh yeah, he has a little bit of damage. I think he'll be okay though. Let's go to live. You got Alex here fixing his damage. Adolfo Castillo towed. Austin Smith's in the pits. Alex Campbell, Joshua Neal, Jarrett Larder. Looks like all those guys are going to get damage from that. And everybody else seems safe. Cole Larson, Casey Gross, one of those guys we were talking about. Cameron Combs, and Wesley Triplett is up in 7th. See if I can't pull it back up the standings real quick. Wesley Triplett is in 11th. So let's say it is where it is right now. Wesley's good. Casey Gross and Cameron Combs is where the battle is for that last spot. That is going to be, it's 4 points in the favor of Casey Gross. So Cameron Combs needs to finish at least 4 spots above Casey Gross tonight to get into the playoffs. Right now they're running 13th and 12th. Looks like Austin might have had a little more damage than I anticipated. Is he still sitting on pit road? Oh, yeah, it looks like that nose is pretty crumpled. 19 car is Adolfo Castillo. And Alex Campbell's back on track. Maybe he can... And his truck looks okay, so... Maybe he was able to fix it up. We'll find out here in a minute. They're still single wide. Let's go back and watch this wreck from Austin Smith's view. So he's going in, sees him get loose, he's on the brakes. Man, I think he just got turned. Let's go watch Wayne Garland. Where's Wayne? Because I think he might have made... Okay, so... Truck sideways. Checking up, goes into the back of him. Yeah, it looks like we just might have not got checked up in time. You never know. You never know what's going on. Man, I hate it for Austin Smith. We're just talking about him getting the regular season championship. This puts him in a bind. So, right now he's scored at 18th. Corey Combs was in second, I believe. Let's go back and check. Caleb McKinney, is in second place, and he is 12 points back. So it's not looking good for Austin. Caleb McKinney's in sixth. He's taking it right now. They're tied for the regular season, and there's fifth. If they take the green here, Daniel Honeycutt gets a great start. as this one looks like it's going to be a little bit more successful in 1 and 2. Let's go back there to Brandon Puffenbarger. He's going to let Corey Kroll on the inside. These guys might go too wide. Ooh, Caleb McKinney got a little loose there. Him and the 22 made some contact. Wouldn't that be a story? He gets in a wreck, and both of those guys are laps down. As this 22 car, Justin Duran, looks like he's going to try and get around Caleb McKinney here. They're even. Caleb with the advantage on the outside. And then Justin Duran also has to deal with that dirty air coming off of Corey Kroll's rear end. And it looks like Corey Kroll might be struggling a little bit to maintain that car. Caleb McKinney is going to get to the rear quarter. Corey Kroll, he's going to try and make that pass on the outside. This is for 4th place here. So if he runs where he is right now, Caleb McKinney is your regular season champion. Let's go up here and check on Daniel Honeycutt. Looks like Brandon Puffenbarger starting to reel him back in, along with Corey Blevins. And we've only went 8 laps. We've got 104 laps tonight. Looks like Daniel Honeycutt's taking a lower exit. Caleb McKinney just got on the wall back there. I think he's okay, though. But we're going to watch Daniel Honeycutt coming out of 4 here. Watch the exit he takes off the corner. I just wonder if it, over time, eats up those tires. So we go up here. See these other 2 guys behind him. Uh-oh, we lost him. But see how those other 2 guys are floating it up a little bit earlier. Daniel Honeycutt's kind of sticking it and hooking it around that turn, trying to keep some grip on the bottom. And it might actually be him saving tires, but with how quick he's running, I doubt he's saving right now. But they're coming behind him. Nice single file. These 4 guys are pretty tight. It looks like Corey Kroll might try and make a pass on Brandon Puffenbarger here on the inside. Brandon Puffenbarger's going to slide way up, allowing Corey Kroll to get in there. Not quite clear for the pass yet. And now he's clear. That puts Corey in 3rd. Corey, man, I would love to see him get a win. He deserves a win. Right now he's sitting 10th in points. He's got 4 top 5s and 5 top 10s and 5 starts. No wins. Got so close at Talladega. Made it to the tri-oval, and Talladega happened, and he just couldn't quite bring it home. As Corey Blevins is getting pretty close to Daniel Honeycutt here. Your highest I rating in the field tonight is going to be Justin Duran. And he's pretty high up there. Right now, he's in the middle of our pack battling Cameron Combs. Him and Cameron Combs have been going at it for quite a while. As these 2 are back and forth. Let's see if Cameron doesn't try and slide up in front of him here. Again, Cameron does have, he's sealed the playoffs. Excuse me, Caleb McKinney has sealed the playoffs. So, looks like Justin Duran might be sliding back a little bit now. As we go back to these top 2, Daniel Honeycutt's still getting that bottom, but it looks like Corey Blevins is going to get a good run off the top. We'll see if he tries to make a move on him here. Corey a little loose. Corey Blevins that is a little loose coming out of that turn. He's got to be careful doing that. He's going to eat those tires up. Let's ride along with Corey Blevins here. See what kind of things he's doing in the corner to get some clean air on that truck. So you see how much separation Daniel Honeycutt's able to make in the middle of that corner, carrying the bottom like that. But look how much faster Corey is on the top. Now, the big difference is, though, is I think Daniel might be saving some tires compared to Corey Blevins ripping that top. And it looks like Corey Kroll was able to get pretty close to behind him there. Ooh, Corey Blevins in the wall. Corey Kroll's going to go low to make the pass. Let's see if Brandon's able to do it too. Looks like Corey's going to get an okay response off that turn too. Him and Brandon Puffenbarger are going to be even going down the back. You know who likes seeing this? Daniel Honeycutt, saving them tires up there, letting all these guys fight behind him. He's got clean air, he's got a clean track, and he is good to go. These guys are doing a really good job of maintaining. Everybody's doing a good job. Your mover of the race, whoa. Cameron Combs. He's up 12 spots as he gives that spot back to Justin Duran. He's going to push him down the backstretch here. Justin goes low. Cameron goes high. See what kind of run he gets off the turn here. I don't think the discrepancy in lines was wide enough for there to be a huge difference on the stretch in speed. Let's go check on these guys that were involved in that lap 1 wreck. Austin Smith is still in the pits. He's been, oh man, he's been in his pit box for 13 minutes. He is on lap 2. So he is currently about to go 20 laps down. As far as other guys go, Alex Campbell is 1 lap down. And it looks like he's doing an okay job maintaining speed, too. That last time around, he was only a 10th off the leader. As we go check in with that leader, he's starting to pull a gap now. He's got a 1-second gap on second place. Corey Kroll, who made it past Brandon Puffenbarger. Excuse me, they were like that. Corey Blevins might have used his tires up too quick as Caleb McKinney and Justin Duran are coming to battle him for that top 5 position. And you can see that these guys' tires have kind of gone. They've got about 10 laps more on this run, and if they pit in that first little run, you know, I might have done that because you could potentially be looking at a 2-stop race at that point. But I'm not sure anybody pit that didn't have damage. Another thing you have to take into account is that clean air. You know, you've got to do a lot of stuff like Cameron Combs, who's up 12 positions, and then by that point, your tires are pretty toasted. Now he's kind of stalled out in 7th place after passing 12 trucks. Another guy that's doing really good is Jarrett Larder. He's up 8 positions. He's in 9th place. And the guy who's taking the worst beating is currently Alex Campbell, who is on the track, but he's 13 positions down. Austin Smith is... Oh, he's back. He's coming on. He just got off the track. Might have got all his damage fixed with how long he was on there. We'll have to see what he runs next time by. And his race isn't over. We get a lot of cautions here, and he pits right. You know, there's other cars. He really needs Caleb McKinney to slow his roll a little bit, because right now, Caleb McKinney is winning your regular season championship by 1 spot. And now it's tied again. It's this battle right here for 5th place that's deciding your regular season championship at this point. I'm sure this will change by the time the checkered flag drops, but these two have caught Corey Blevins. Oh! They touch. Oh, he almost goes upside down. Caution is out. Caution's out. That was a great job not bringing it back up on the track. Caleb McKinney gets into Corey Blevins. Does he have damage? That is exactly what Austin needed. And even better, Alex Campbell. Alex Campbell was only 1 lap down. This will put him right back on the lead lap. Let's go back and watch this wreck. Did he try and block him? What? I thought he was going to go upside down. Oh. I think it was just hard racing. I don't think Caleb did it on purpose. You watch here. He's getting squeezed in by the 22. Finds a lane, goes, and they just touch. Now watch the ride from Blevins. Watch how close he is to going upside down here. Yeah, that was just hard racing, guys. But we're live on the pit road. And Cameron Combs with a pit time of 8 seconds. I'm not sure. Cameron Combs takes 2 tires here. And we're going to see what it does for him. That's 28 lap tires. Cameron Combs, he came to play. Let's look and see where he's at in the standings. Cameron Combs is 13th in your standings. So right now, it's not looking too good for Casey Gross. Casey is back in... Where is Casey Gross? Where is he on the track? He's back in 16th and a lap down. So with him being a lap down, I mean, man, I'm not sure I wouldn't have taken 2 tires there if I'm Cameron Combs and just drive her on home for a playoff spot. He said, I don't want to do it that way. I want to win. I want to win the last race at Homestead. See, Austin Smith stays out here. He's going to go get a lap back, which will put him 20 laps down. we've got ourselves a little race here. A race inside of a race. Cameron Combs is your leader. Casey Gross is 15 spots back. Again, remember, Cameron has to beat Casey, I believe, by 4. Let me double check that. Cameron Combs is 13th. He is 1 spot outside of the cut line. He has to beat Casey Gross by 4 positions, and he's in. Another guy we need to be watching, Wesley Triplett. Wesley is sitting in 10th, so he's safe right now. As Cameron picks the top here, I'll be really interested to see what happens to those tires. And before they go green here, let's pull my good buddy Austin Smith in here. Hey, Austin. What happened there, man?
You probably got a better bird's eye view than I do. I know Alex was a little loose in front of me, and I was just trying to give him the space, and then got kind of hit from behind. So
Yeah, it looks like you were in
Just
between a
trying to-
rock and a hard place.
yeah, just trying to salvage a couple laps here, see if we can gain a couple spots, and other people wrecking out. But we'll just be riding.
Yep. Don't forget to race for the regular season championship, man. I'll let you go. Have a good night.
Yeah, thanks, Nate.
Always good to talk to him. I wouldn't have pulled him if I only knew we had that much time. But anyway, we're green here, and they're 3 wide for second place. 3 wide for second. Let's go watch this a little bit like he was talking about from that bird's eye view. It looks like those 2 tires are doing all right for Cameron so far. Corey's in the middle of a wasp nest. Ooh, the 18's loose. The 4's loose. 18's back in the wall. Cameron Combs is going to get to the back of Corey Kroll here. He's going to push him clear of the 5. Looks like Cameron had to back out of the gas pretty good there. Daniel Honeycutt again takes the lead. Cameron Combs is back in 6th now. And again, Casey Gross is on your lead lap now. That's what I was saying. Maybe just take 4 tires there. You've got the track position. But now, late race, he'll have a set of tires that no one else has. So that's, But I'm not sure he won't go a lap down here with the pace that he's carrying. Alex Campbell's making his way back through the field. I'm glad to see that he's got a car that's making some moves as he goes to the inside of Wayne here. He might take it 3 wide with Wesley. No, he backs out, doesn't take it 3 wide. Austin Smith. You know what? Let's ride around with Austin Smith. Watch him weave through this. Well, he checks up. Cameron Combs is really struggling, guys. Caleb McKinney sitting in 5th place. Currently 1 point ahead of Austin Smith for the regular season championship. Austin Smith gives a push to Michael Smith. Pushes him into that turn. Aldolfo Castillo, Alex Campbell. Ooh! Austin might have got on the gas a little too early. He's in the wall. Let's go check on Daniel Honeycutt up front. Corey Kroll is coming in hot. I am really impressed with Corey's driving tonight. He's carrying so much more speed in the middle of the turns. We're going to ride along with him here. And watch how much closer he gets to Daniel Honeycutt in the turn. Goes in. It looks like he just let off a little bit later than Daniel Honeycutt that time. But he's getting on the gas at the same time, so he should get a pretty good run coming off of 1 and 2 here. See right here, he gets off at the same time. He's got that dirty nose on his truck, but look at that in the middle. See, one thing about being behind is that rear end is going to slide out on him. Cole Larson, a new driver tonight. He's sitting in 12th or 11th now, battling Wesley Triplett. Now we can start to see this pack splitting up minus these two. These two up front have a 1 second gap on the rest of the pack. Last time by, Corey Kroll was a 10th faster. Let's see what it is this time. That time, Daniel Honeycutt was 100th faster. And you just worry about Corey getting in that dirty air. He's using his tires up early. Looks like he's going to try and peek on the inside. Can't quite get there before Daniel closes the door on him. Brandon Puffenbarger says, I'm just hanging out right here, let y'all use your tires, and I'll see you here in 20 laps or so. Corey might get a pretty good run off the back here. Let's see if he tries to make a move on it. No, he's going to stay tucked. So we look at the stint links here. Everybody pitted on lap 27. Then you go back and you look at that pit stop time. Let's see, make sure everybody. Yeah, it looks like everybody for the most part is taking 2 tires. Jarrett Lard or Gary Donnellan might have taken 2. Now Daniel Honeycutt's starting to stress that out. He's got 3/10 on Corey Kroll and gaining. So we'll go back into this little group. This is Joshua Neal, Wayne Garland, and Adolfo Castillo. Now Adolfo's a lap down, but Joshua Neal and Wayne are battling for 10th right now. It looks like it's getting a little bit more spread out here. Now we got Wesley Triplett and Michael Smith side by side. Wesley's going to make that pass. Is Wesley trying, or does Michael try and cut back on the inside? Looks like he doesn't. Ooh, we almost just had a car go around. Who was that? Anthony Garland. He just about went around. I mean, let's go back and watch this. It's not letting me rewind with him. Anyways, we'll just go back to live. There it goes. Just bear with me here for a second. Watch him come off of 1 and 2. So let's ride along with him here. Just about loses it and snaps it back. Now we're back live. It looks like they're about to go 3 wide for 10th place as Wesley Triplett tries to make a move on the inside of these two. I think he's got it clear if he wants it. He's going to slide up in front of Adolfo. Michael Smith thinking about poking his nose in there. Aldolfo takes it way up. He's going to run into the wall. That checks up everybody up top. And that moves Wesley up to 11th place. As we go back to the top, this lead just continues to build. And it is so far tonight, I mean, it's been a dominating night for Daniel Honeycutt. Brandon Puffenbarger, Justin Durant, Corey Kroll's falling back and falling back fast. I wonder if he didn't use his tires a little too quick trying to get that clean air. That last time by, he was 5/10 off the leader. Car on a wall somewhere. Green flag track conditions. It's Gary Donnellan. Looks like him and Alex Campbell are trying to start riding that top. But right now, it's all Daniel Honeycutt. Go back around. Let's see if we can find a battle. Got Wayne and Austin Smith here. I guess that wasn't Aldolfo. Where's Aldolfo's car? Aldolfo's not on the track. Excuse me. I've been saying Aldolfo Castilla. That is Cole Larson. Corey Combs comes into pit. And that looks like it's going to be a little early. This is going to throw him off. But this will put him, I mean, he's one stop away. He's still not able to make it to the end. I don't think these other guys will be able to make it to the end. And here comes some other guys. Casey Gross pits on the same strategy. So this is the battle for the last spot in the playoffs. It's right here, guys. Let's see who gets off of pit road. Cameron Combs comes off first. Wait a minute. Casey Gross has been in his pit box for 2 minutes. That is not good for him. Looks like everybody else is going to stay out for a little bit. Now, here's the thing we need to be watching. Cameron Combs just pit. His pit time was 14 seconds. It was 15 seconds, so he took 4 tires. Now let's watch and see the difference in this lap. See how much time he's making up on these leaders. That might be the decision that wins him the race. We'll have to see how long these guys stay out and what kind of lap time he can make. Last time around, the leader ran a 33.62. Excuse me, a 34.8. A 34.8 on back was a 35. They're running about 34.9 to 35, so on and so forth. Once you get further in the back, they're running 36. So let's see what he can run here as he comes around to the stripe. This time by is going to be a 33.54. Almost the fastest lap of the race. So he is currently making up about a second and a half on these leaders. Casey Gross is still in pit road, so you have to think that his race is over. But I don't even think it matters for Cameron Combs. Cameron Combs is more focused on winning this race, and he might have made a decision, a pit decision that could let it happen. Ran a 33.3 that time by. Your leader ran a 34.8. 33.3. That's our fastest lap of the race by 2/10. Cameron Combs is absolutely flying around this track. I think he's probably just trying to get his lap back, but I'm worried he might use those tires up too quick. He's going to have to put 25, 30 laps on these tires to, you know, split the difference for the next fuel run. Let's go up to Wayne Garland. Him and Cole Larson are still battling. Oh, look at those tires screech. I think Wayne's tires are toasted. A guy that just continues to move up every time I look, Jarrett Larder. Him and his teammate Alex Campbell are battling right now for 6th place. They're on the same pit strategy. Behind them is Corey Kroll. But Daniel Honeycutt continues to just build a lead. He's up to 2 seconds on this pack. Almost 2 seconds. 1.7 seconds on Justin Duran and Brandon Puffenbarger here. Now we've got some cars in pit road. Joshua Neal, Gary Donnell, and Michael Smith. Austin Smith all come into pit road on lap 55 here. Lap 55. That's going to mean they've got about 20 or so laps they have to put on each set of tires. About 25 laps they're going to have to put on each set of tires, excuse me. I think this is a good time to pit. Now everybody else comes in. Here comes Jarrett Larder, Wayne Garland. Michael Smith's out. Daniel Honeycutt's staying out, though, so I'll be interested to see how long he stays out. He's going to stay out this time by, at least. He just needs those people behind him to stay out, too. For Caleb McKinney to have any kind of shot here. Or Cameron Combs, excuse me. And look at him flying through this pack. This is not what he wants to see. All this traffic's going to dump dirty air on that nose. But luckily for him, that guy in front of him, Austin Smith, is one heck of a wheel man. Shouldn't be too much problem. So you go back and watch this. He's currently built a 2-second lead. Just wonder when these guys, they're trying to draw the caution. I mean, we've only got 10 cars on the lead lap. Caleb McKinney can get a caution here. I mean, it's practically, he'd be really close to just being safe. Another thing you have to remember, guys, Casey Gross is still in the pits. And he is currently... Austin Smith is 9 laps away from getting P17. He's 9 laps away from catching up to Casey Gross. That will mean that Caleb McKinney will have to finish 4th to be your regular season champion. As he is still out, and Justin Duran's going. Justin Duran's in pit. Whoa, something might be off with Justin's car here. Guys, I think Justin Duran might have just lost. I think he might have just been a packet loss. Or his simulator engine blew. So that takes some pressure off of. That's our highest I rating driver, is now in the pits, and he's not coming out for a minute. Anthony Garland comes into pit lane. Cole Larson comes into pit lane. And Corey Blevins has gone a lap down. Looks like your first car on this new strategy is Gary Donnellan. Gary Donnellan has pitted. Jarrett Larder has pitted. Joshua Neal, Cameron Combs sits about half a lap behind them. So, man, I just said he lost too much time with that old that old strategy. And here come in your top. Daniel Honeycutt is in pit road. Let's see where he comes out staying out that long. If he does come out on top and he stayed out as long as he did, he is in very, very good shape. And Brandon Puffenbarger's coming in pits. Wesley Triplett stays out. Corey Kroll stays out. And here's your race for the new strategy lead. It's going to be close. Gary's going to have to throw a move in here. He needs to get in front of Daniel Honeycutt. Daniel Honeycutt has taken clean air and completely destroyed it today. Gary Donnellan needs to make this pass, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen for Gary. Wesley Triplett comes into pit. Your only car left is Corey Kroll. And that last time by, he ran a 35.3. And the car behind him ran a 34.3. He's losing a lot of time. But when he comes out, he'll be the fastest car and he'll have the newest tires. So if we just look at the discrepancy between Daniel Honeycutt and Gary Donnellan, I mean, if we look at their pit stop strategy, Gary pitted on lap 28. And I mean, Gary pitted on about lap 53, and Daniel Honeycutt just pit. So, I mean, yeah, that's this big gap you've seen develop. Corey Kroll still yet to come in. I bet he comes in surely this time. I mean, he's got to be close to running out of fuel at this point. He's going to run it dry. Wesley Triplett comes out. He comes out in 11th place. And here comes Corey Kroll. Corey Kroll's been really fast in the beginning of runs, but it's looking like he's using up his tires a little too early. Can he maintain his tires here? He's going to have the best shot with the cleanest tires. So he's good with clean tires. I think he's got a shot here. Let's just see how far back he falls behind. Yeah, I think he might be too far back. Daniel Honeycutt has a 3-second lead on the field. Larry, if you're still in here, who's your pick to win? If it's not Daniel Honeycutt, if somebody comes and upsets Daniel Honeycutt, who's it going to be, Larry? Here's a guy to watch, battling closely for second place. The guy we've been talking about, he's now up 14 spots, Jarrett Larder. But it looks like he's got nothing compared to Brandon Puffenbarger with compressor tires. Brandon's going to get to the outside of him here. It'll be interesting to see what happens when Brandon gets out like he just makes this pass right here. The discrepancy. Okay, so Gary Donnell and Jarrett Larder, those guys pit on lap 55, 56. Daniel Honeycutt he pitted on lap 62. Brandon Puffenbarger pitted on lap 63. So we'll really see the speed difference. We know how fast Brandon Puffenbarger is. Let's let him go one more lap here, compare their lap times, and see what we're looking at. Right now we're looking at about a 5-second gap with clean air both in front of both of them, and probably one more stop to go. All right, guys, last time by, Brandon Puffenbarger had a 10th on Daniel Honeycutt. With the gap he has, it's going to be close. He's going to have to give it a little more than that. Brandon Puffenbarger needs to be perfect here, and he needs to consistently be about a 10th quicker. So that time by he was 3/10 quicker. So he's running at a rate fast enough where he's going to be able to get close to him. Let's look at his cockpit here, see if he can see him. Yep, he can see him. See how much tire he's using here. Looks like he's doing a pretty good job staying off those tires. Trying to let it turn. Get on the gas here. Turn it with the rear end. Oh, yeah. That looks very good from Brandon Puffenbarger. Let's watch Daniel Honeycutt. See how he has to use a little more tire. The gap's down to 3.9 seconds. Again, that last time by, Brandon Puffenbarger's 2/10 faster. Does Brandon Puffenbarger get his win tonight? I wonder if we can see both of them in the blimp. Might be a little bit of a stretch. Oh yeah, it's a bit of a stretch. About 5 laps ago, I said that Brandon Puffenbarger had to run perfect to catch Daniel Honeycutt by the end. Now I'm telling you that he might catch him before green flag pit stops if he keeps running at the rate that he is. He's extremely fast, extremely consistent. Let's see what he runs this time by. There it is. They were even that last time by. So you wonder if he was using a little bit too much tire, if he might have had a little bit of a squirrely moment. We'll see when they come back around this time. He's gotten that gap down to 3.8 seconds. With a good pit stop, that is manageable. You see some cars go down. We got Wayne Garland and Anthony Garland going down pit road that last time by. They're sitting a few laps down. Cameron Combs goes a lap down. Well, guys, that makes this a lot more interesting. Casey Gross is out of this race. Casey Gross is no longer in this race. But look at Cameron Combs. He is one spot away from them being tied. And Wayne Garland is only about a quarter of a lap behind him. He's going to need a caution to come out to really be safe with the strategy that he's chose. Now, with that being said, Cameron pit about 3 laps ago. Wayne pit just now. So it's going to be close. Joshua Neal's coming in from 9th place. But we look at the gap. It's down to 3.3 seconds. It still closes. I think what it's going to come down to, guys, is the pit. Does someone take 4 tires? Does someone take 2 tires? We saw what happened to Cameron Combs. Honestly, if it is more than a 5 to 6 lap run, I think you're taking 4 tires here. We've got a hot track. Let's look at the track temp really fast. Track temp's 94, so it's not too bad. But still, Homestead Miami eats tires. I think your best bet here is 4 tires. As everybody starts to come in and make their last stop of the night. Jarrett Larder comes in. And we really need Wayne to get in front of Daniel Honeycutt. Or Brandon really needs him to get in front of Daniel Honeycutt here. Dump some dirty air on that nose. Give Brandon an opportunity to catch back up here. Wesley Triplett's coming around too, trying to get his lap back. Jarrett Larder's going to send it in deep. Wayne Garland's going to close down. Let's see what he does here. He stays out. Brandon Puffenbarger's coming in. How long does Daniel Honeycutt stay out for? This is huge. Next car behind him is Caleb McKinney. Caleb McKinney's running about the same lap time, just about a 10th faster than Daniel Honeycutt. They pit on the same lap last time by. It's a 3-second gap. Daniel Honeycutt, and he's going to come in right here maybe. He does. Let's see if he can get on safe. Brandon Puffenbarger was in his pit stall for 14.9 seconds. 14.9 seconds for Brandon Puffenbarger. That's 4 tires. Surely with 20 laps to go, you take 4 tires here. If you're Daniel Honeycutt, we're just going to have to wait and see. He's trucking through 3 and 4. He's coming as quick as he can for Daniel Honeycutt and Caleb McKinney. Look at the stop from Caleb McKinney. Caleb McKinney takes 2 tires here. And that might be good for Austin Smith. If those tires don't hold for Caleb McKinney, Austin Smith is loving that Caleb McKinney just took that risk. And there's your gap. You see Brandon Puffenbarger. He's about 2 seconds gap, so he's gonna gain about a second. With that quick pit. He needed about another lap or so to get in front of him. Daniel Honeycutt's going to maintain the lead of the cars that have pit. We've got 20 laps to go. We're getting close to the end of this thing. It's been a very clean race. We had a wreck on lap 1, and then we had a wreck just hard racing with who was that? Caleb McKinney and another, I believe it was Corey Blevins. Both of those cars have recovered great. They're running 6th and 7th right now. Wesley Triplett has stayed out. Corey Kroll has stayed out. Daniel Honeycutt has stayed out. Look at the lap times. Wesley Triplett just ran a 34.5. Which is pretty quick, all things considered. That time by, he ran a 34.8. Corey Kroll behind him ran a 34.7. And Daniel Honeycutt, who's on the newer strategy, has ran a 33.41. They're on 20-lap older tires. There's only 15 laps to go, so surely they come in here pretty shortly. I bet they come in this time by. Let's see. Wesley Triplett, he says, I'm not coming in. Corey Kroll, he says, I'm not coming in either. Why would I do that? I'm in second place. Let's see how Austin Smith's doing. Let's check in with Austin Smith. Austin Smith is up to 16th place as Justin Duran drops Packett. We forgot about that. This changes everything for Caleb McKinney. Caleb McKinney has to finish in the top 5. He has to finish 3rd or better if Austin can finish where he is to win the regular season playoff, or championship. That last time by, he was about 6/10 off the pace from everybody else. Your fastest car on the track right now is Brandon Puffenbarger. He's 2/100ths of a second faster than Daniel Honeycutt. You see the gap right there. He's coming. 1.8 seconds. Does he have enough time to close this gap? He needs dirty air on the front of Daniel Honeycutt's truck if he has a chance. And if you look up here, look at Daniel Honeycutt's view. He's got 3 cars he's going to have to pass here. And he is running right now from Brandon Puffenbarger. We go up to Corey Kroll, Wesley Triplett here. They've got to come in sometime soon. The top 2 cars are not good on fuel. Corey Kroll pit a little bit later. Now he should be good for about 5 more laps or so. Wesley Triplett's in the same boat. Really, Wesley Triplett has about 2 laps left, and he should be about running out of gas. But this is the battle we're looking at. Daniel Honeycutt, Brandon Puffenbarger. That last time by, Brandon Puffenbarger was a 10th faster. And it looks like Daniel Honeycutt is almost through this traffic. As he goes under the 81 here. Now he's got Michael Smith to pass. But Brandon has about caught the back of this pack. Now, how quick can he get through this? Wayne's going to let him by on the inside. Daniel Honeycutt tries to go on the inside of Michael Smith. I don't think he's quite going to be able to make that pass. Does Michael Smith hold him up here? He does. You got to remember, Michael Smith and Brandon Puffenbarger are teammates. Now, Michael Smith isn't doing anything, obnoxious. He's just running his line. But he's not going to let up for Daniel Honeycutt here. And Brandon Puffenbarger struggling to get through this gap. That gap is struggling to get through this group. The gap has lengthened out to 2 seconds now. And now it's growing pretty rapidly with the dirty air that Brandon Puffenbarger's having to go through. He has 2 cars in between him. Daniel Honeycutt, Corey Kroll, and Wesley Triplett are still out. They're going to probably run these things dry, completely dry. I mean, that's the only hope they have. They have to run them completely dry. If the caution does come out, everybody else should pit. I mean, if they don't pit, then Wesley Triplett and Corey Kroll are in a great position. So they're hoping for a miracle caution here. With how spread out we are, I don't know if it's going to come. We've got 9 cars on the lead lap. That'll change here shortly. When these 2 do pit, they're going to stay out again. Good Lord. They are now in the 35s. They're about a full second. They are a full second off the pace. And it looks like Brandon Puffenbarger's made his way through that traffic. He's gotten the gap. It's all the way spread out to a 2.3 second gap. We'll have to see what they do this time by as Daniel Honeycutt's going to pass excuse me, he has not gotten through that traffic. He's got the traffic in between the two of them. So he's going to have to find a way to pass these two. If he wants to win this race. I was told that the pit window is about 32 laps. Wesley Triplett has now ran 32 laps. Corey Kroll's ran 30 on this set of fuel. So, I mean, Wesley Triplett has to be soon running out of gas. He stays out again. Let's see if we can ride along with him. See if he's trying to clutch it in the corner, how he's saving so much fuel. Looks like he's just holding on for dear life here. Brandon Puffenbarger gets to the... Looks like he's getting pretty close to Michael Smith. You wonder what the battle's going to be like there. Wesley Triplett stays out for another lap. Corey Kroll stays out for another lap. Good Lord, are they going to make it to the end? Guys, there's 6 laps to go. Did they make a move where they're good to race to the end? Even if they did, Daniel Honeycutt's 8 seconds back and he's running. That last time he ran a 34.5. So these new tires, I mean, these guys have ran their tires dry after 20 laps. Here goes Wesley. Wesley's coming in. Corey's staying out. Can Corey make it 5 laps? Can Corey Kroll make it 5 more laps to take the checkered? Look at that. He's clutching. See that RPM gauge go down to 0? He's going to stay out as long as he can. With everything that Corey does for this league, you have to hope. You have to be pulling for him here. Four laps to go. Now he's saving fuel, but he's only got 2.5 seconds to Daniel Honeycutt. That last time by, he was about half a second slower than Daniel Honeycutt, so he should be pretty close to being good. It's going to be close, guys. If he can make it on fuel, it's going to be close. He is the only car that would be able to make it on 2 stops. I don't think he stayed out long enough. Or I think he came in, yeah, I don't think he came in early. I had a long day. I don't think he can make it on fuel. We're seeing, we've got 3 to go. Let's pull up our track map here. That's what you're looking at. The 1 car and the 2 car. That's the gap. On further back is Brandon Puffenbarger. 2 to go. Is he going to make it? Come on, Corey. Did Corey just make the pit strategy move to win this race? And Daniel Honeycutt is coming fast. He's cooking his tires, getting everything he can. He's good coming out of 3 and 4. He's going to go for it. And he's going to get the white flag this time by. White flag is out. Can Corey Kroll make it to the end? He's got a 1.5 second gap. The only thing that matters is if he can make it back to this flag. Going down the backstretch, he's not. He goes into 3 and 4. There's the clutch. He's still got a 1.5 gap. He's back on the throttle. Corey Kroll, with pit strategy, is going to win the final race at Homestead and finally get his victory. How about that, Corey Kroll, for a first win? He said, "Will somebody else go burn it down? I'm out of gas." Look at that. He doesn't have enough gas to do a burnout. He's coasting. He's going to get a congratulations tap from his teammate, Brandon Puffenbarger. And let's look at the results here. We've got a couple questions we need answered here. From top to bottom, we got Corey Kroll, Daniel Honeycutt, Brandon Puffenbarger, Caleb McKinney, Alex Campbell, Gary Donnellan, Joshua Neal, Corey Blevins, Wesley Triplett, Cole Larson, Michael Smith, Anthony Garland, Wayne Garland, Jarrett Larder, Cameron Combs, Austin Smith, Justin Durand, Casey Gross, Aldolfo Castillo. So it was 12 points. Austin had a 12-point lead going into this. That means that I think Caleb McKinney might have done it. I think Caleb McKinney might be your regular season champion, but I am not sure. We're going to have to wait and see. I'm going to jump out of this booth real quick so I can confirm who just won the regular season championship. And it's been confirmed. Your regular season champion is going to be Caleb McKinney. He does what he needs to do, and they tie. I mean, looking at the... Literally, they tie at 262 points. Now, granted, both of these guys are going to make it in the playoffs. But he did exactly what he needed to do tonight to clinch that regular season's championship. You hate it for Austin because on lap 1, he gets involved in a wreck and it ends up costing him the regular season championship. The thing about Austin Smith is he'll be back next week and he'll be ready to go. So with that being said, let's pull Brandon Puffenbarger. Brandon Puffenbarger finished 3rd tonight. He's been great all season. Let me get rewinded on something so we can see his car. All right. Get that off of there, and let's get Brandon into the booth. Brandon, this is Nate up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, there for a long time, it looked like this was your race to win. I didn't even think about Corey Kroll, but walk us through those last few laps and what was going through your mind.
Well, I started to notice that we weren't going to make it, so I was trying to pit early enough where I could try to run down Corey because I asked Corey before I even pitted if he could make it, and he said yeah. But I was trying to pit a little earlier than Daniel, see if I could get in front of him. That was the only way I was going to hold off Daniel. Daniel's very consistent and always fun to race with, so.
Yeah, he was super fast tonight, and with the clean air, it's just like I don't even think nobody even had a chance to get past him. They just couldn't get beside him. He just had the clean air and he used it very well. It looks like you're gonna finish third, just 8 points behind for the regular season championship. You had a great run, one win. What are you gonna do going into the playoffs to try and get that championship this year?
Try not to make as many mistakes as I did last playoffs. And just show up to all the races. I think I missed one last time, so if I do all that, I should be able to fight Austin for the championship. I know there's probably going to be a couple dark horses, but I think it's probably going to be like a 4 or 5 car battle for the championship this year. It's pretty tight this year.
Yeah, I'm super excited to watch it. You're always one of the fastest guys. I think you've got a good shot. Before we let you go, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Just Chance, Corey Austin, you for doing a broadcast. All the new guys for coming out. I hope they had fun. It's nice to see some new guys out on track with us, and that's about it.
All right, Brandon, great race. We look forward to talking to you next week, man.
Sounds good.
And now we've got Daniel Honeycutt. Daniel, I thought you had it, man.
I thought I did too.
I didn't even know. I told Brandon the same thing, and I'll tell Corey the same thing. I was sitting here in the broadcast booth saying, now these top two guys need to pit. They need to pit. And Corey just never did. He just stayed out there. But, man, besides that, all things set aside, you finished second. You were the fastest car tonight. You ran a great race. What were you doing to be so fast? I mean, nobody could even get beside you.
Yeah, I don't know. I just found that bottom line and just let it stick and try not to eat up my tires. And I mean, different people would come and go throughout the field. I mean, I think Brandon was probably the only guy that could like stay with me consistently. But I see him come early. I just like, if you want to pass me, you have to pass me on the high side and burn up your tires there. And
Yep.
that's what they did. And then next thing I know, I look behind me and they're a second and a half. I'm like, well, I got the advantage now. But with Corey, I mean, I'm just amazed. You can't hate that. I mean, like you hate to lose that way and finish second, but I mean, you can't hate that effort because I thought there was no chance he had, but he somehow managed to pull it off. So that's really impressive.
Yeah, we were watching his in car. He had the clutch pulled. He was the only car in the race to make it on 2 stops. It was a great race by him, but it's a great race by you too. The 3-stop cars you finished first out of those. You're gonna make it. Excuse me. You're gonna make it into the playoffs, I believe, right? I haven't checked.
No, this is my first race back. I haven't raced
Oh,
at all
really?
this season. Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea. Anyways, well, you had a great first race back. I thought you had the win, but
No,
anyways, are you gonna stay for the playoffs?
I mean, I like to. I just had like a bunch of other stuff going on Tuesday nights too, and I think it's finally clearing up. So I plan to hopefully be back more on this, and maybe I can be back for next season. Probably
Yeah.
go for a championship.
Come back next season, be in that run for a championship. If you ran anything like you did tonight, I'd say you got a really good shot at winning a championship. But hey, man, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Great race tonight. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Just all the guys at Mars and you for putting this thing on. I mean, I've had a lot of respect and I've had a lot of friends that I've made along the way here. And I mean, I'm sorry that I kind of left like the past 2 seasons, but I hope to be back now. And I'm looking forward to what the rest of the season and next season can bring.
All right, man. Well, we look forward to seeing you back up here in the future. All right. You have a good night. Good race.
All right. Thank you. You too.
All right. And before we get our winner, I usually pull him up doing donuts. Unfortunately for Corey, he did not have enough fuel to do said donuts. But without any further ado, let's get the winner up here. Corey Kroll, how you doing, man?
Oh my gosh.
I did not think you were
Finally.
gonna do it. I'm not gonna lie to you. You go back and watch the broadcast. I'm sitting here saying that Corey's got a pit. He's not gonna win. Don't. We're looking at the win for second place, and I don't know how you did it, man. I thought that. I mean, according to what I was told pre-race, you could make 22, or you could make 32 laps work, and that was pushing it. I mean, you pit way back there. How did you make it?
Yeah, so that caution, I was like, well, my goal was 35, right? That's
Uh-huh.
that was the mark I was gonna hit. That caution through. So I ran it, and I ran kind of hard with Daniel there,
Uh-huh.
and I could get to his bumper, but then I mean that was all I had, and I was like, I'm trying to run him hard, but I don't think Daniel's even budging. I don't even think he's even pushing it. So I knew there was no chance there. I was like, so it's got to be a strategy, right? So I started clutching, and then I fell back. I don't know, it was like 7th or 8th, and then I pit. And when I come out of that second pit stop, I was like 38, 39 laps for fuel, and that's how many laps we had left. And it was just like from there to the end, clutch both turns. I hate it. I hate racing like that, but honestly, apparently that's the only way I can win.
Hey, that was the most fun. That was one of the most fun things I've seen all year. I mean, I was sitting there and seriously, dude, like I wish that you could have heard me. I was at 5 laps. I was like, all right, he's gonna pit, and then we went to your in car. I was like, let's just go see if he's saving fuel. Let's see what he's doing. And sure enough, you were. You got to 3 laps, and I'm like, holy crap, is he gonna make it? And then you stayed out for the white, and I was just waiting for you to run out of gas, and you never did. I mean, it was awesome to watch.
Yeah, I was 0.2 coming to the line, so I'll take the win over a burnout any day.
Yeah, that's what I said. He was
Finally
going.
glad I got a win in the series.
Man, we were
Man.
happy for you, and I said like halfway through the race, like this guy does so much. It'd be hey, you have to be pulling for this to work, and sure enough, it did. And we're all happy for you, man. You deserve a win. You always are up there like Talladega. Stuff just happens, and finally tonight you get it to work with a brilliant strategy. I didn't think it was going to work, and it did. So let's look at the playoff standing real quick while we have you. Let's see. You're tied for second with 1,001 point. Wesley Triplett is in the lead, 1,002 points. You got 4 races left. What are you gonna do to win a championship this year?
Well, I guess if it comes to strategy, I have a good start on that.
Yeah, you.
Yeah. I mean, we got. I know Kentucky. I love Kentucky. So hopefully, the other 3. I mean, Atlanta. It's Atlanta, right? It's gonna be anybody's game there. So I guess the first race and the last race, I just have to be there. Phoenix, pretty solid at Phoenix. Kentucky's probably my better one out of the 4. So I just gotta be there. Gotta be there.
consistent. Gotta have some crazy strategy like tonight, and maybe you'll get 4 wins.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I am stoked.
Where did you finish in the regular season? You went in tonight
Oh,
10th. You were 10th tonight going in. You finish up 9th.
yeah.
Win. But I mean, you had a pretty consistent year. I mean, you ran 6 races. You missed 1 week. You had 5 top 10s, and you finished in the top, or excuse me, 5 top 5s. You finished in the top 10 every single race that you ran this year. So it says you finished 9th. Realistically, I mean, let's say we add 30 points on there, and you're sitting in, the top 5 almost. So you had a great regular season. I'm excited to hopefully, you get this win, you carry that momentum into the playoffs, and you never know what happens. But man,
I hope I'm the guy that everybody's like, oh, geez, it's this guy again.
Yeah, right. I'm looking forward to calling it all, man. But before we let you go, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, everybody at Mars for coming out and racing. It was a great turnout today. I hope that it continues for the rest of the season. Look forward to the next year for more growth. You broadcasting, you put on a heck of a show. We love to watch it. Everybody that watches and tunes in, we appreciate it. Thank you. Can't do it without you guys. And then Chance for race control. He's a silent partner in here, and he puts in a lot of work. So we do appreciate him very much.
All right, Corey. Well, hey, man, I want to wish you congratulations again. We're so happy to see you get your final win, and hey, we hope to be talking to you again in the winner circle next week.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, Nate. Thank you.
All right, see you, Corey. All right, there he is, your winner. Man, yeah, I was saying it all race. I'm so happy to be here for his first win. I'm sure there's many more to come. The guy's a great racer, and the improvement that I've seen, or that we've all seen over the season. This guy, like at the beginning of the year, or at the beginning of the season, or last year, or whatever you want to say, um, it felt like there were guys that had a little more skill than he did or whatnot, and he just had a little bit of work that he needed to do. That's gone. He's worked through that. He's up with the best of the best. He's obviously making pit calls like the best of the best, because tonight he cuts out a pit stop that everybody else had to do. And not only that, but before he said he was going to clutch like that, he was running right there with the fastest truck of the night consistently. And then he decided that he was going to try and do his strategy. It worked, and man, I couldn't be happier for the guy. There's not a single driver that I'd like to see win more than him. He gets he gets the momentum going into the playoffs, and man, I'm so excited for the playoffs this year. Real quick, just in case you want to know, the playoffs. Week 9 is going to be at, hold on, I need to pull it up really fast. We've got 4 races in the playoffs here. Same points and all. Your points did reset like we were talking. Everybody is now within 10 points, your top 12 drivers. Again, Cameron Combs did miss the playoffs, so you wonder what happens if he takes 4 tires there. Cameron Combs is out, Casey Gross is in. Real quick, your top 12, your guys in the playoff is Caleb McKinney, Austin Smith, Brandon Puffenbarger, Gary Donnellan, Alex Campbell, Jarrett Larder, Joshua Neal, Michael Smith, Corey Kroll, Wayne Garland, Wesley Triplett, and Casey Gross to round out that 12. We look at the schedule really fast, and we can, notate on some guys that are really good at certain tracks. Phoenix, Kentucky, Atlanta, Auto Club. I'm telling you right now, I think Austin Smith's going to come out and win Phoenix. I think Brandon Puffenbarger is going to win Kentucky. I think Corey Kroll is going to win Atlanta. And then I think Auto Club's going to decide your champion. We're not going to know until Auto Club. So my prediction, we've got 3 different winners going into the final race this year, and it's all going to go down to Auto Club where anybody can win. So I couldn't be more excited. Here in a month from now, we'll have a champion, and let's just get them going. Let's finish this year strong. I'm happy it finished the way it did the regular season. Congratulations to Corey. Congratulations to Caleb McKinney for clinching out that regular season. And, yeah, we will see you next week at the same time for our race at Phoenix. See ya.